Israel has a new prime minister for the first time in more than a decade. Israel's parliament narrowly voted in favor of a new coalition, ending the tenure of the country's longest-serving leader, Benjamin Netanyahu. The Knesset tally came down to a single vote. In a power-sharing agreement, the new coalition government swore in former Netanyahu ally Naftali Bennett as the new prime minister. CBS News correspondent Ian Lee reports.
Tel Aviv erupted in celebrations. And so did Israel's parliament, the Knesset. For the first time in more than a decade, Israel has a new prime minister. Benjamin Netanyahu is out.
We're celebrating the new government because it's something new, something fresh, with good people.
But not everyone is happy. The new government won with a razor-thin majority, just one vote.
I don't feel safe now. I have the feeling that there is a lot of mayhem.
Netanyahu calls his toppling a fraud. He's now Israel's opposition leader and vows to return to power.
We'll be back soon.
This is Israel's new prime minister.
Naftali Bennett.
49-year-old Naftali Bennett. The tech millionaire is Netanyahu's former chief of staff. At his first cabinet meeting Monday, Bennett pledged unity, healing, and a strong relationship with the U.S. He will lead Israel's most diverse coalition in history, spanning the political divide and including, for the first time ever, an Arab party. As the new government posed for a family portrait with Israel's president, Netanyahu's familiar face was missing. But the ex-prime minister promised supporters that picture won't last long. Ian Lee, CBS News.
For more on this, let's bring in CBS News correspondent Robert Berger. He joins us now from Jerusalem. Hi, Robert. So this new coalition government is comprised of 8 parties with some deep ideological differences. What are the very real challenges Naftali Bennett has ahead of him?
I think the biggest challenge actually is going to be keeping the government together. A survival, really. It was a 60 to 59 vote. A majority of one in parliament, and they have deep ideological differences. You have right, center, left, Arab parties. So I think the biggest challenge is going to be keeping it together so that it can continue and remain in power and perhaps get stronger as time goes along. Right now, I think its grip on power is rather tenuous.
So what kind of opposition leader is Netanyahu expected to be now? And could he realistically return to power soon, as he claims, if the new government loses its majority?
Well, he's going to be a very active opposition leader, as he said he would be. He's charismatic, as we all know, 12 years in power. He will try to bring down this government. He said so. He calls it a fraud. So he'll be very active in the opposition. All he has to do, really, is get a defector from the right. There are many right-wing lawmakers in this coalition. If there's a crisis, he may try to get someone to defect. He really only needs one in order to topple the government. So he wasn't able to do that prior to the establishment of the government, which he tried to do. I think it's quite possible we'll see Netanyahu return to power. The longer this government can stay on, the longer they can hold it together, I think the stronger it'll be, and maybe that will weaken Netanyahu. I'll just add that the glue that's keeping this coalition together is the dislike or even hatred of Benjamin Netanyahu. So if he's active in the opposition, that may actually work in the favor of keeping the coalition together.
Interesting point. So what does this new government mean, Robert, for peace in the region, especially with Palestine following all those days of violence we saw so recently?
You're not going to see any major moves on the peace process, again, because there's such differing views within the coalition. Naftali Bennett himself is further right than Netanyahu. He opposes a Palestinian state. And there are quite a few members of the coalition who oppose a Palestinian state. So you won't be able to see major hot button issues like reviving peace talks with the Palestinians. But what you will see, you have a moderate foreign minister, Yair Lapid. You have a moderate in the defense ministry. I think They'll try to reach out to the Palestinians, improve the economic life of the Palestinians, strengthen the moderates in the West Bank at the expense of Hamas in Gaza, and also try to keep that fragile ceasefire in Gaza together.
And President Biden called to congratulate Israel's new prime minister just hours after he took office. How do you see the U.S. relationship with Israel in the future?
You know, in the short term, it might actually improve. I mean, Netanyahu is a polarizing figure. He got along great with former President Trump. They were good friends. But President Biden has been much cooler in subtle ways. I mean, it took him 6 weeks to make a telephone call to Netanyahu after he was elected. And by contrast, he's already had a conversation with the new Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett. So I think the Biden administration will be happy to see some moderates in the Israeli government, some new blood, if you will, because Netanyahu, he takes a hard line on the Palestinians and on Iran. So I think, and they've said publicly, the Biden administration, that they hope to work with this government. I think it could be good. And also, the moderates in this government want to reach out to Democrats. I mean, Netanyahu is very strong with the Republicans. His critics say that was at the expense of the Democrats. So I think you'll see this government with its moderate elements trying to also strengthen ties with the U.S. on both sides of the aisle.
Robert Berger in Jerusalem, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you.